upbeat on Wiseman's development, or has it been a little trickier to get a feel for what it is, even this far into the season?
Well, he's up and down, Tim, and I don't think there's any surprise that he's up and down. I think, given the lack of college experience, missing that year at Memphis, only playing 3 games, set him back, and then not having summer league and training camp really set him back. So there are moments when he looks, like a future superstar, and there are moments he looks like a young rookie who, is trying to figure things out. And so I think that's perfectly natural at this point.
Is it on the defensive side when you talk about correcting errors from the previous night? Is it most of those would be on the defensive side, would you say?
I would say so. I mean, he's been pretty good offensively for the most part. I thought the Toronto game was more an outlier given no Steph, no Draymond. And for whatever reason, we got completely destroyed. And I don't think that game made any of us look good, myself included. So, if you take that game out and you just look game to game, I think you can see James, he'll have his moments offensively where you can really see it. Defensively is really the key, though, where there's just so much to learn, so much ground to cover. Transition defense in particular, he's got to improve upon. All these things, they're just going to have to come gradually, because it's too much for a young guy to absorb it all in one span of a few months. So, but he's coming along, and as I've said many times, he's just a great kid and very coachable, and I'm really excited about his future.
Steve, what do you guys think as a coaching staff you guys have learned in trying to bring James along this season?
Well, I think, when you get a guy, especially someone who, didn't play much. I mean, we watched 3 games of tape, and then no summer league, as I mentioned, and then no training camp. So we throw him out there on opening night and really have no idea what to expect. And he goes out. I think he had 20 points or something that night in Brooklyn, and made a bunch of shots. And that was literally our first real look at him. So this process from the very beginning has been so convoluted because of COVID and because of James's situation in Memphis last year. So what we've learned is we can't rush it. We can't force feed him. It's just going to take some time, and that's really par for the course. For players who have been in James's shoes in the past, and I've mentioned some of their names. Highly touted prospects who didn't have a college experience. Whether it's Kobe or Kevin Garnett or guys like that. It was the same thing. I don't know that after Kobe's couple of air balls in the playoffs against Utah in his rookie year, I don't know that we could have said that guy's going to be a top 5 player of all time. So all this stuff, it just takes time and reps, and we just have to be patient and keep working with James every day, and he's going to get better as he goes.
Are there things that you, as a respected voice in the locker room, as a guy who knows the grind to get into the league, can share with a kid like James?
I mean, I've said it on Twitter. I've said it beforehand. It's just a matter of staying the course. I mean, everyone's course is different. Whether you're number 1 pick and you're all generation, whether you're number 5 pick or a top 5 pick, and you have to sort of find your way. I mean, everyone's journey is different. So it's just a matter of, understanding that. The only message I could preach, not even just him, but anyone that, is going to come into the league is just, know your why, know what your worth is. Understand that, this is going to be a tough battle for you, night in and night out, playing against the best players in the world. And, stay diligent in your work, whether it's lifting, whether it's getting in the gym, praying, anything that you do, whatever gets you to, be the best player or the best person that you could be, first and foremost, is just do that. And at the end of the day, as long as you keep working, what's done in the dark always comes to light. So it's just a matter of keeping on working and understanding that, it's for the betterment of you and your career and your team and whatever organization you're with. So not even just James. It could be any rookie. It could be anybody that's new that's coming into the league or trying to make it into the league. It's just a matter of staying that course, staying that journey, and never giving up. Yeah. Sometimes I got to remind myself that after all the stuff that I've gone through to get here. So
No doubt.
it's crazy. But, everybody got a story, and as long as we can pay it forward and get a game back to the next generation to lead a game in a good place, that's all we ask for. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe.
Game's up here shortly.
James, 50 games into this, did you think that you would have a better idea what your role was, or do you know exactly what your role is with this team right now in April 5th, April 6th?
Yeah, Tim, I knew what my role was, and that's just rebound, block shots, and just run the floor and just do like what got me here. And I'm not trying to do too much. I'm not trying to do something like out of my game because I'm still improving and I'm still getting better each day. So I'm really just doing the stuff that I know that I'm good at, basically.
What specific things do you think you are definitely better at right now than you were, say, in game one?
I say being more aggressive. I say rolling to the basket faster. I'm still working on my rebounding, but that's getting better. And that's going to come just by me just getting more aggressive on the rebounding side. But I say really just running the floor, talking on defense and playing better defense. Actually better than my previous games. I'm playing way better. So, yeah.
James, to follow up on that, when you talk to the coaching staff, what do they tell you you need to do to get more minutes?
I say just be more aggressive on the defensive side, make sure I be there in terms of rotations. So be better with the rotations, and I say just talking more, but I'm doing great at that. So I really just say just being better at rotations, really. And just being better rim protector in terms of timing. But that's something I need to work on, though, which I'm getting better at.
James, I'm going to guess that you lost this season more games. You've been a part of more losing games this year than probably ever in your career. How are you dealing with that? What have you learned from that?
Just how to deal with the adversity, just taking it one game at a time. Because I know, on the road, it's been hard because we went 0-3 on the road. But, we're a great team, and we still, we have all the pieces to be great. We just got to keep working every day. We got to come together and just keep just being together. We got to saying, which means just us. So it's just us and it's not nobody else. We just got to come together and just stay as a family, stay as one, and just keep working. So,
do you feel there's a sense of frustration in the team right now?
I can't say that. I say more competitiveness, more trying to figure out how can we get better as a team. And we're just figuring that out every day in practice. So we're most definitely getting better.
Were you surprised? Rotations there. Well, you mentioned that's a point that you're trying to get better at. What's been the biggest challenge for you with the rotations and the late rotations?
I'd say just moving my feet because I could be a great defender and I am a great defender. It's just the fact that I just need to work on my timing. So just basically just working on getting my footwork and meeting the person at the spot in terms of turning my body, and that's how I don't get a lot of blocks. But once I just start meeting people at the rim, then I'll be able to get a lot more blocks and just stand on my feet. Because I'm very tall and I'm long, so if I just stay on my feet, then it'll be harder for the defender, and it'll be easier for me. So,
did you expect not to check back in the first half and the second half? You only got the one stint in both halves, and from the outside, it looked like you played pretty well. Were you a little surprised not to get back in there?
Yeah, I was very surprised, but I just knew I was kind of, in the air with everything. But I guess that was just coach's game plan, and he was trying to figure something out. But yeah, I was kind of confused. I can't lie.
Did you think you played well in those two stints?
Yeah, the time that I had, I feel like I played really well. So I mean, I did my job. So, yeah.
James, when you play in the NBA, that's such a public job. There are armchair GMs. There are people scrutinizing every minute you play. Has it been humbling to have this sort of spotlight on your game?
It's really funny to me because I really don't look at none of the negativity and stuff like that because I look at the bigger picture of things. Like I know that if I keep working, that I will be a great player. So I just got to just keep working, just keep getting better each day. I mean, mind you, I didn't play in college. Like I only played like 3 games and I'm still trying to figure stuff out. So, I mean, I'm still behind the 8 ball, but I'm most definitely getting better like exponentially each day. So, I mean, I just feel the growth like every day. So I'm just getting better tremendously. And just staying focused and just staying intact with everything and just really just asking questions and doing what I can to get better. So
there are a lot of people interested in you. Would you say you have a thick skin? Because it's also okay to be sensitive and to care about what you do, you know, but the thick skin, has that been something you've sort of grown into this season?
Right. I know that negativity sells and I know that. So I really don't worry about that. But, I mean, I've been through a lot of my life. So, I mean, I don't worry about people talking about me and talking about, like, what I need to do because I know what I need to do at the end of the day. And, like, I know my weaknesses and what I can do to get better. So I really don't worry about that.
James, knowing what you're physically capable of, how do you fight the temptation to want to do everything on the court, you know, and just narrow down to maybe 2 or 3 things? You know what I mean? It's got to be a challenge.
Yeah. And, the previous games, I was like doing that, but like that's how I had the tendency of being too hard on myself, and that's where the overthinking came. And then that's how like even y'all can see like I was out there, I was down, I was frustrated if I made a mistake. But it's like now I'm just really just taking it possession by possession. Like if I mess up, right back on the other end because I can be effective, and it's like next play mentality. So I'm just putting that into my mind, just having next play mentality and really just working hard and just having fun out there and just trying to just compete. So that's all.
Coach Kerr said the other day that that the staff kind of talked with you about just kind of narrowing your focus and just sort of focusing on a few things out there. What was that like?
Really just keeping it simple. So they just trying to help me out to become more effective. So just keeping it simple. And plus it's my first year. So just working on stuff that I know that I can perfect and get better. Like uphill DHOs, not having to play one-on-one to post that much, which I can, but like just making it easier on myself and like getting easy buckets first. So just really uphill DHOs, making sure that I meet my defender at the rim so I can block more shots and have better timing and just be vocal on both ends of the floor.
James, what was the biggest adversity that you faced so far in the season, and how you try to handle this?
I'd say going through the hard games, like having bad games and stuff like that, and knowing that I'm super competitive and like I want better myself and I set myself at a high standard. But going through bad games really like made me stronger because it made me realize that you're going to have ups and downs, but you just have to stay like middle ground. You have to stay in the middle. So really just trying to flow and just trying to just not be hard on myself.
And what it means,
have fun and play.